Spanner in the works. Back to the works. Them man are like you're too much on the track. Them flows are bloody berserk. Spanner in the works. Go hard till it hurts. How many man do you know who can drop 1 million flows on a verse?
Spanner in the Works podcast, season 2, episode 2, Big Tizz. Sonny Black, what you saying, bruv?
Yes, brother.
Hype it up. Stomach's out.
I need to stop smoking because I can't shake this.
We have to tense up today because we've got a big man in the house.
Why are you obsessed with like this? What is wrong with you?
Because I come out, cream my arms, and I thought, right, maybe make sure my arms are creamed, everything's good. And then this guy just walks in with his tattoos and his arms bulging out.
At least 20,000 people didn't he get told you got bingo wings. So just, it could be worse for you, brother.
True.
Man needs to get in that gym. I need some tips from our guests. So guys, what number guest is this? So we did PMC.
5.
Fiona, and count them as 1. Dots, Jimmy, fifth guest. Kind of felt he should have been on season 1, really. But I also think
it was supposed to be.
But I also think it's good that we've kind of, as we're kind of getting into this. So he'll forever be the first guest of season 2. How would you describe him?
A UK rap pioneer.
I would call him the most unsung underground musician probably in the history of British music.
See, I don't think he is because a lot of people know who he is. When people said to me today, who you got on, and I said Genesis Elijah, and they went, I've heard of that name. I think
the name carries a lot of weight. It's been around for a long time. But
maybe they thought I was saying Genghis Khan.
Where does this stuff come from? Where does it come from? You know what you're like? You're definitely on the spectrum, right? But you have like this random Tourette's. Like we just Genghis Khan. When we did Jimmy, you went, he sounded like a wrestler. And they make these great moments for content, but I just want to know where they come from.
my brain, isn't it?
What, the brain you were just telling us that ain't working. One second. He's a pioneer. He's a legend. He's been around for best part of, I can remember him from at least 2 decades ago. When I did that album list, the top 10 Bedford albums, it took everything in me to not put his debut album in there. It was recorded in Bedford.
Facts.
It was produced by a Bedford Don.
Facts.
But I kind of felt that like, how can I leave a Bedford rapper's album out of the top 10 and put that in? So I couldn't put it in there. It's my criteria and I had to kind of be fair with it. But so he's definitely got roots in our town.
I actually met him in our town.
I met him in our town. I met him at Keynes. But for me now, when I think of Watford, when I say Watford, what do you think of?
Watford Town Football Club.
First thing, Elton John. I think of Elton John. Watford. John Barnes.
Well, now if I think of Watford, I think of our guest because he's from Watford.
And this is the mad thing, and it's mad how over time can change. So we've longed this out, and it was stretched it. Should stretch it a bit more.
No, introduce the bloody guest.
He was on the side of a bus once as well.
Yes, I see that.
I got a phone call one day.
Mate, he's on the side of a bus. He's done adverts with voiceovers. He's done. You hear his voice.
Yeah.
You might have seen his face.
Yeah. I got a call and she said, "You're never going to guess who I've just seen on the side of a bus." I said, "Who?"
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing
Genesis Elijah!
Welcome, brother. That was a long-winded intro. But
I actually said the phrase, "at this stage in my career." Do you consider this your career now?
No.
What about you? Let's get swiftly onto you then.
Career.
Is this your career?
What music?
What you do, yeah.
Yeah. It's been my career for, I'd say, like 20 years.
So have you ever had a regular job?
Yeah, man. Bare regular jobs. But like, a lot of the stuff, the way I make my money, it's all rooted from the music. So even like the youth work stuff I do, I've never had a job interview. People find me from doing what I'm doing and go, "Oh, I like what you're doing. Will you come to this school? Will you come to this college, university, whatever?" And that's how I've got those jobs. Or people hear my voice and go, "I think you'd be good on an advert. Have you done any acting before?" Like that's just where my stuff comes from. So I'm not a good business person, but I'm always people know where to find me. Okay. So
we know who you are. Your fans don't obviously know who you are, but can you tell the people that don't know who you are,
Yeah, my
what you do?
And she'll want to know who you are.
Do you know what? I think it's hard for me to say what I do and who I am, but I always feel like if you listen, like throughout this podcast episode, by the end of it, you'll know whether you like me or you hate me.
Yeah.
And you'll get a sense of like of who I am. Because I think a lot of people do cool shit. Like there's a lot of rappers, a lot of people make good music, but that's not what we buy into, man. We buy into like the story, the personality, like who's the person who's making the music. There's a lot of people that make really good music, but I think they're knobs, so I don't listen to their music.
I agree with you.
So
I agree with you, man. Only recently, I've met some idols that I wish I never met.
Listen,
Say never meet your idols, innit?
and I'll say this, yeah, the amount of people that have said to me, they've said that, they say never meet your idols, but meeting you've been like the best thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that to like, you know what I mean? Blow my own horn, but it's happened many times. And only because I will never see myself as like anything special. I'm just a normal person who happens to be good at rhyming words. Like I'm not better than anybody else. Even artists who are like, want to collab with me and they think that I'm bigger than them. I'm like, I'm not bigger than you. Just more people have heard of me. I've just been doing it a bit longer than you. But you can't ever put anyone above you, and I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm like thinking I'm something special just because I rhyme words. Like I'm not out here saving babies and curing cancer. You know what I mean? I'm just literally making. So I'm having fun with some beats.
You hit the nail on your head when you said about there's people out here that have got great music, but because they're dicks, you don't listen to it. And I think that's the opposite of you. So you've not only got great music, but you're an excellent personality. So you didn't want to introduce yourself a minute ago. I'll do it for you. I know he's dying to, but he will have a dialogue for you. We'll be here for the whole hour 45. So this gentleman here, so introducing, in my eyes, tell me if I'm wrong, a musician,
Yep.
father,
Yep.
family man.
Yeah, try to be.
Let me take it from the start. So music, you grew up in London, am I right?
I grew up in Brixton. Yeah.
Brixton, the place for the
St.
best
Matthew's
yardie
Estate.
food.
Yeah. So like all my formative years are in Brixton. And then I came to Luton to do high school. And then
What was the reason to move to Luton? Family?
my dad got a job. So my dad was obviously working as a teacher in Brixton, got a job in Luton, and so moved the family.
Was your interest in music start in Brixton in the schools or family environment, or was it when you got to Luton?
No, I was always into music. Like obviously when you're young, you see what your cousins are doing. Like my cousins, to me, they're like my idols, innit? So whatever they're doing, however they're dressed, whatever they're listening to, I'm checking out.
Yeah.
So
the elders, innit?
yeah. So when I'm at the yard, I'm chilling, I'm looking through the vinyls and I'm seeing like Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, Ice-T.
Okay.
So like that's the stuff I'm looking at and I'm trying to listen to.
Was that 80s rap?
Yeah, man.
80s, like early 90s, yeah. And you have to remember as well, like my dad's a preacher, yeah. So like I come from a religious background.
Church background.
Yeah. So like all that kind of stuff, that music, that was never allowed in my house.
Yeah, not allowed,
So
yeah.
now when I'm at my cousins, I'm seeing it, I'm like, right, that's
Yeah.
nuts. And then a little bit, as I get a little bit older, so this is when I'm maybe 7, 8, 9. As I get a little bit older, my uncle Stephen, he's a producer. Well, he was a producer then, so he's like making music, and he's only 10 years older than me. If I'm 7, 8, 9, he's 17, 18, 19. So he's buying like the latest stuff, right? So whatever albums he's buying, I'm listening to. I'm nicking his CDs, his tape, whatever I can get and listening to. And then I think by the time Snoop dropped, by the time Chronic dropped, I was in it. By the time Chronic dropped, I was like, to be honest, the album that made me rap was America's Most Wanted. Cool.
Mine
Death Certificate
was Doggy Style.
So Doggy Style was like when Doggy Style dropped, that was when I was really in my rhyming bag. So that was when I didn't have a rap name. My real name's Nathaniel, right? So it was just
I never knew that.
yeah. So it was just the NATT. That was my rap name.
Yeah, but even saying that now, builders aren't allowed to wolf whistle pretty women walking past. Back in the day, there was, here we go, equality.
Yeah, but like, I'm all for that because I feel like I feel like that obviously the pendulum swings, yeah, and there's certain things that we used to be cool with that we're not cool with now, and I think it has to be like that. It has to be like you can't play with people how you used to play with people. Like,
yeah, but things like that, yeah.
it don't even matter. You know what it is? I'll give you a really good example of this, yeah, because people do this to me all the time. So I'll be out just chilling, and someone come up to me and be like, "Oh, look, size your arms, mate," and they'll grab me. right? It's a positive thing, yeah. But and I might take it as a positive. Now I'm laughing it off. Yeah, it's cool, whatever. Right, cool. But at the same time, it's like, who said you could touch me? So remember when I had my hair long?
Yeah.
Right. So you're dealing with that all the time, right? And so again, it's like it's not. It might not be the worst thing. Obviously, there's way worse things than that. Yeah, but it's like setting that boundary of. Nah, you can't just roll up and you don't own people, yeah. You can't just roll up and just grab people.
Yeah, but touching someone's different. But like, like I said.
But the point I'm getting there is like, yeah, back then, you know, calling women on record bitches and hoes was a standard thing. Like,
Seeing a woman walk past and you're on the roof, doing the roof, and they go.
And I hate it when things that like that are framed as, oh, just innocent. They never were, bro. The times when that was acceptable, it was also acceptable to walk up to the secretary at work and slap her on the arse and nothing happened. It was also okay to put your hand up women's skirts. The wolf whistler on the scaffolding is the arse toucher by the photocopier.
No,
They are.
that's like saying the cigarette smoker is going to turn out to be a crackhead. It's not. Just because you smoke a spliff, it doesn't mean you're going to smoke a crack pipe.
Scaffolding was next to the photocopier. He wouldn't wolf whistle her. He'd touch her ass.
You don't know that for a fact.
Oh my God, this is the misogynist attitude, though.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's not.
Yes, it is. Right,
Bruv, if you're sitting in a room,
flip it round.
if you're sitting in a room with people doing drugs, it doesn't mean you're going to take drugs.
If it offends me and I don't like it, that's my prerogative and choice. If I want you to stop, you either have two choices.
Did you have this same energy 20 years ago?
No, but it's called evolution and growing. It's why I don't call women bitches no more.
I bet you do if they cut you up in traffic.
No, I don't.
You fucking liar.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I bet you would. If they cut you up on
Because
traffic,
she's a
you'd
woman,
say
I'd call
you
her a
fucking-
bitch.
Yeah, and if
No.
it was an Indian, you'd say you fucking packy.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you fucking would.
He went crazy.
Yeah,
God, he
I'm
went
not even crapping. Yeah, I keep it real. This is what people don't like with me. I keep it real.
No, I
Yeah?
don't. No.
Yes, he does.
You're a fucking idiot.
Everybody
I'll
does.
call you an Audi cunt. I'll call you a BMW cunt.
Everybody does.
I'll call you my favourite one at the moment is Tesla.
keep it
Is
real.
Tesla wanker. But no, but all
Because there's certain things in you, yeah. Someone says, I saw someone had this thing a while ago where they were like, if you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. Squeeze a lemon, you get lemon juice. You can't ever squeeze an orange and get lemon juice out of it. So when you're under pressure, what comes out of you is already in you. So if you're under pressure and you start, because people, I see this all the time, innit, when like, oh, I was racist because I was angry.
No.
You can't get me angry enough to ever say something that I wouldn't say normally. It's never going to happen because it's not in me.
It's either there or not. So no. So to answer your question, no, I wouldn't. Because I wouldn't call someone a P word in real life. So I wouldn't call them the P word when I was driving, right? But I'll call them a C word or I'll, you know what I mean? But
I know you.
So please, pull your receipts.
But this isn't about us. We've got a guest. I'm going to get my uncle to pull up in front of you in traffic, yeah, and I'm going to record and see what he says.
That's jokes.
bloody fuck you. You bloody. You bloody
Right,
fucking.
anyway, listen, back to the guest because we can go on for ages. Where was we?
We were talking about like music and evolving and like listening to sort of stuff and how you started. And you
We got
said-
from Brixton to Luton.
Yeah, you said you brought up Doggy Style, and I think that was a big point for everybody when we kind of everybody I think at that point wanted Clark Cat and Professor G and Easy P and what was your first rap name? Switch. Yeah. What were you? NATT.
Yeah, then I think I went to Ghost and then it was Nemesis.
Fucking hell, you went through it.
Then it was Genesis.
How'd you arrive on Genesis Elijah?
Because before it was Nemesis and then Alton Towers had a ride called Nemesis.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
So then I was like, I can't use that anymore.
Okay.
So then I thought, let me change it to something that sounds like it. So Genesis was the one. But then there was bare other things called Genesis. So I was like, I need to give it like it needs to have a surname to distinguish it from all the other Genesises out there. And Elijah was just, I don't know. Elijah like
Biblical.
in the Bible, yeah, it's always been my favorite prophet. So I was like, cool, that will work. And then yeah.
It's a very yes. I think it's hard to know whether a name is a great name because you know there are people who've got names who've been around for time. I mean, like you know, 2 Chainz was Titty Boy, and like, but I do think your name is really important, and it has to be something that kind of strikes. And I think that I think Genesis Elijah is
it sticks with people because people
does.
like you said, if you say like people have heard of me, yeah, because once you heard the name once, it kind of sticks with you.
I think that's
but
what
they
it
may
is.
not really know who I am.
And it's a very unusual name. It's almost like a Roman goddess kind of, like a god, Roman god-esque, I meant. Yeah?
Easy.
Yeah, so esque, you've ruined my train of thought. So 2 things. When did you write your first bar, and we got the name? Where did Genesis Elijah come from? Where did you write your first bar, and when did you name yourself Genesis Elijah?
The first bar was probably like 9 or 10.
Okay.
So that would have been, whenever kind of like Doggy Star dropped. So it's around probably a little bit before that. When I started, he was rapping kind of like doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. And then there was a time when he did a song, he dropped a song. So I must have been, maybe I was like 16. I think I was at a basketball camp in Brixton. And my cousins have brought a tape round that they just done. So my cousin Matthew, my cousin Dominic, they're singers. And I think Matthew was the producer and my brother's rapping on the track. And I heard it and I was like,
he killed it.
Damn, he's better than me.
He killed it.
I was like, damn, he's better than me. And that was the first time I was just like, oh man. But I think the difference is like, he's not as self-aware. He's like, when I write rhymes, I'm writing rhymes because especially at that time, I'm trying to get the oohs and ahs from people. So I'm thinking of the punchlines and I'm like, trying to get the crowd, I'm trying to get the reaction. He doesn't do that. No. He writes for himself.
He writes, yeah, that's
right.
Exactly
So it's
how
like,
I write.
Yeah, so it's like, it's a deeper level and he's tapping into things that only now at this age I do, but he was doing that way back. He was doing that at like 14 years old, what I do now at 40, 43, right? Wow. So he was already he had already tapped into like his voice and his style only because he just didn't know any different. He was just like, I'm writing for me, that's it. But yeah, so like Genesis name didn't really pop off. I think I chose that name probably, it would have been once I'd already left school. So I would have probably been like maybe just 16. That's when it was Genesis Elijah. And then, yeah, I maybe the Elijah part wasn't even till a bit later, but I remember my first demo was just Genesis. So yeah, maybe like 17 would have been Genesis Elijah.
Was you known at school for rapping and being into music and MC and?
I was known for basketball. College.
Basketball, yeah? Yeah,
college maybe like, there was a few guys who could rap. So it was like me, a guy called Charm, a couple of other people that could, I mean, they were kind of nice. But yeah, it was a different time, man. I think I was talking to the kids now and I'm like, man, if I had the stuff that you lot got now.
Bruv, I said the same. When I walk into a music room and I see what the equipment they've got, I said, "Raw, you lot should be superstars."
Yeah. So all the rappers I'm around, they're like, they're still kind of WuTang influenced. It's that dark sounding stuff, and that's kind of like where the game is. And it's like everyone's looking at America.
We're talking early 90s.
Who's like?
Nah, this is like
who's around there? Like Mud Family and them, man. Like,
nah, I don't meet them till way later.
Right.
So like, this is like 98, 99 times, right? And so these are the people I'm listening to. So I'm not listening to any UK music really.
Mobb Deep. WuTang, Smith and Wesson.
That's like where we're going, yeah. So that's the bars I'm writing. And my brother. Then I started listening to. I think my brother bought. What album did he buy, man? I think he bought.
I want to say Ja Rule.
Nah, I think he bought Black Twang's album. But had a Roots Maneuver was on one of the tracks, yeah. That's right. Yeah. And then off that we bought the Roots Maneuver album. And now I'm just like listening to like, I'm kind of like getting a vibe for like UK music. And then we're listening to Shorty Blitz on the radio. I'm hearing Chester P. I'm hearing Terra Firma.
Is this Terra Firma your brother?
No, it's the group.
That's the other who I thought of, who you said.
So Terra Firma, it's a group with Kalashnikov, Kaiser, and Scribbler, right? So I'm hearing this on the radio. I'm like, oh, there's UK rappers as well. There's guys that are like,
proper like.
Yeah, Rodney P.
You're about to mention
right, yeah.
Is Rodney P one of the first?
So yeah.
My first song I rapped in an American accent.
Did ya?
Yeah, I got unbelievable lyrical syllables. But that's all we knew though, innit?
Yeah, cool.
That's all we knew.
So this is like, so now hearing this stuff is like, it's a whole new world
Sounds
kind of
like
opening
me.
up, right? So my brother comes home one time and he's like, yo, I was just at this club called WKD in Camden. I'm like, okay. He's like, it's open mic night. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah. Skinny Man was there. Chester P was there. I'm like, what are you talking about, bruv? He's like, yeah, all the UK rappers was there. I'm like, no fucking way, bruv. So nah, come down. So every Tuesday, there's this club night where all the UK rappers are. So I start kind of going there, seeing them. And then I'm around like all the people I was listening to. I'm seeing these guys up on stage doing their thing. And like,
he said, I could do that.
Yeah. And at the same time, I'm working at Virgin Megastore. My boy Answer, he's there as well. He's a DJ. He's into UK hip hop. and we're just like, what? This world is open to us now. We're just trying to figure our way into it. Like, how do we get into this world? How do we get these people to see, like, I can rap, you can DJ, how do we do this? So we had this idea of no one's really doing UK mixtapes yet. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do a mixtape. So what he had already started doing mixtapes. He was doing like drum and bass stuff. Then he started doing UK hip hop mixtapes. But I was like, nah, I'll host it and then we'll put all the new songs on there. And I'll put some of my songs on there as well. Because
that's what man did. Yeah, man, the old days I had a hip hop. Was there not once there was a DJ Who Kid Wiley mixtape hosted by Ashley Cole?
Probably.
That's out there, 2011. And that was the thing then, wasn't it? You had someone hosted your mixtape.
Yeah,
he's right. I was in Milton Keynes one day shopping with Chino, Cecil. I got handed a CD by this young kid. And he goes to me, can you buy my CD? And I'll do you 2 for a £5. It's £2.50 or £3 or 2 for a £5. And he goes, they're all other people's songs. I've got one song on there. That's mine. Guess what song that was? And guess who the kid was? My name's Chip Diddy Chip.
Oh, he was doing it, a little while after us.
My hairs, look at my hairs.
No
Look at my
way.
hairs, look at my hairs. My hairs. Bruv, when we got in the car and I said, oh, bless the little kid. Look, that song sounds all right. He's got quite a good flow, bruv. 2 years later, he's on TV, school uniform, and he's Chip Diddy.
On that famous Westwood.
But Ice Kid.
Bruv, I couldn't believe it. So
he was at 15 then. So that's a little further down where we get to like them doing what they're doing. We took it like AC was already doing it. Mike JLC and them were already doing it with D-Raw, all them. Yeah, so they were already, like the game plan was already out. We just came in and just kind of did our little thing.
Because don't forget tape, cassettes, all them Help Skelter and that were the first.
Terran AC, they were like, AC was already selling CDs. He was selling his cousin's CD. He was, again, drum and bass. They were selling proper CDs, for like 15 and 20 pounds. So you can imagine going up to a stranger going, yeah, I got a drum and bass CD, 20 quid. People like, yeah, cool, we grab that. So that's where the game was. Yeah. So when we came in, we had switched it up a little bit and we kind of, by that, again, I'm jumping over a lot because this is, me getting into UK hip hop is 2000. Me selling CDs is 2006. So, it's 2006. So it's like it's way after that, but a lot of things happen in between that. But the scene was so small at the time that you could have such a big impact by just doing it, and that's all we did, man. We're just doers. I was around all the biggest names in UK hip hop. I was around, like, recording with, at shows with, warming up for. So from day one, I'm next to Black Twang. Like, I'm seeing Roots Maneuver. I'm meeting Skinny. We're hanging out with Mud Fam. Like, on a random one. The very first single I ever put out, the label said, who do you want to work with? I said, Kalashnikov. That was done. It was like, cool. Like, so that's 2003. So like that would be like now, starting rapping now, and the label go to you, who do you want to work with? And you go, Central C.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Stormzy.
It is, yeah. Right. Kalashnikov, when Murder came out, there was no biggest UK rap song than that is the UK anthem as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. The lineage of where the sound comes from, right? So, and again, these things they don't happen in a vacuum. So at the same time, as South is doing their thing, North is definitely doing their thing, West is definitely doing their thing. But
who's only in West then?
So West, you got like, again, for me, West, you've got because it's sound system culture. Yeah. And it's jungle. And it's like it's that kind of thing. Like even like Kaiser's from West, Kaiser's from Grove, innit? So like there were guys in all different places. There was a whole bunch of guys in East. But for me, I think like, because I hold Roots Maneuver in such high regard and just the scene at that time. So you might go into a place and you got Ty there, you got Rodney P there, you got Black Twang there, you got Roots Maneuver, and you got everyone in the same space. Like, to me, it's like gods of the game, but everyone's just there, just chilling. This is why the ciphers became important. Because you go to the show and you come out the show, you might have an open mic, but I wasn't enough rapping for us. We needed more. The open mic was only on for an hour. We're outside now. Everyone's spitting. Oh, what's your name? Cool. Take my number. When you go in studio, yeah, come here. And like, that's how we would link up. So it's like, you're building you're building a scene without even realizing you're building a scene. And again, the reason why I say again, it's not in a vacuum, because we would travel wherever we needed to travel to make music. We'd end up, man, the amount of times I ended up in this people's bedrooms, just like they got little recording set up and we're recording, and these people go on to be like big artists or whatever, because we're so like in everyone's grown at the same time. And even the hunger, like now, if you said to me, yo, spit a verse, I might give you like 1 or 2 verses in my head right now, only because I've got a track I've got to do later, so I got a verse in my head, yeah. But like back then, I got 20 verses, 32 bar verses ready to go at any given time. Any given time. Who wants to rap? And
hungry.
Like crazy. And the way we would write as well, it's like every day you'd go home and you're like, okay, that verse I spat, it was good, but I could do better. You're writing your bars. Wordsmith's there, he's writing as well. Terra's there writing as well. AC's writing as well. Like the whole, whoever the crew was, everyone's around, everyone's writing. What you got? Oh, what you got?
Inspiring each other as well.
100%. So, and you're just going around like all these different places and just picking up game, and you're watching as well. Like, again, at that time, Skinny Man, he's a god to me. Like Skinny Man still, it was that guy at the time. So I watched Skinny on stage and I'm just like, damn. Around that time, man, but you're picking up so much. Phil Cypher, again, a massive influence. Again, being from, when I was in Luton, again, so Luton is when I'm like really getting into my rap bag. And the only rappers that I know from that place is Phil Cypher. And my boy Darren, he's like, yeah, what? Philly's my boy. I'm like, wait, what? You know him? Yo, man, hook me up, man. Let me play him my stuff. And I'm like, I'm playing him music and stuff, and it's just like, these guys have a CD in the shop, have a vinyl in the shop. But yeah, the game was cool, man. And like I think Tommy Evans was like the first rapper to like bring me out to like to do shows outside of London and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a really good time of just kind of soaking up game and just being part of the scene, and being part of the scene for no other reason than we just wanted to rap. Like we just wanted to make music. Like money was never a thing in music, because I was never thinking I'm getting my money from music. I'm on the road then, you get me? So like my money's sorted whenever my money's sorted. I come here to do this. If anything, I'm doing this so I don't have to do that again. But at the same time, I'm not looking at it like, in my mind, I'm like, I'll get signed one day. Like it will make me money one day.
You always believe that, yeah?
I believe it to this day. Like, and I feel like that's the thing that like always keeps me going. It's like, do you have hope that the path you're on can get you to where you want to be? And the amount of times I felt like quitting music has been lots, because obviously in my 20s, like I say, the game we're just here for the game. But when Deppon Road drops, yeah, that's when I just had my daughter, right? So now I've got other responsibilities, and I spent a decade and a half being that broke artist, because as soon as my daughter was born, now I'm off the road. I ain't doing that. I'm just focusing just on music, because I need to stay out of whatever, so that, you know what I mean, I can be there for my family and stuff. But obviously we know music doesn't pay that well. And I would say,
even more so now.
Yeah, it's mad. But I would say like, I'm a person who, I'm gonna figure out, if there's money to be made in something, I'm gonna figure out how to get it, yeah? And I did very well in music as far as like managing to keep myself afloat. But I never made any real money from music until, we're talking 2018, 2019. First time I'm in a position where I can really flex. Even if I did a show say I got $1,000 for a show, yeah? Okay, that's cool. But how often was I getting that?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Exactly.
You're not doing 7 nights in 7 days.
Nah. So it wasn't till I'm in a position where I'm doing the advert stuff and the checks are coming in 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, that you're like, oh, okay, I can actually do stuff. I can buy a house, I can buy cars, I can go on holidays, I can do like stuff that all my mates have been doing for years. It naturally occurred, and I wouldn't have been where I am without the digital world. So my first deal happened because of MySpace.
Okay.
So that's MySpace. I didn't even have a computer at that time. I used to have to go to the internet cafe across the road to like and
£1 for an hour.
yeah, like yeah, man. So like, I had at the time I had my own little.
That's cheap, £1 an hour.
When I
Side
was in
eye,
Spain,
bro.
sometimes it's euro, mate.
But I had like my own little website and stuff, and there was like they call it like the chat thing, the chat whatever, the chat rooms and all that.
That's chat rooms.
Yeah, so like I had my management would like do all that for me, and people would be in there. And if I had kind of knew what I knew then, I would have paid it way more attention. But at the time, I was like, oh, what these nerds are talking about. Like, no one was really on the internet like that. So those guys doing what they're doing, I'm just looking at it just like, yeah, knock yourself out.
But that was the place to be, really.
That was so valuable, right? And that's what got me, again, it got me my first deal. It got me on Glastonbury. Someone just messaged me the other day, was like, oh, I saw you on Glastonbury when, like, back in, I don't know, 07 or something, maybe 04. And
That's not small, by the way, guys, Glastonbury.
Nah, but again,
fucking hell, bro.
But I'm not.
That's
Again,
like people would.
now it is.
That's me done. Glastonbury.
But then it wasn't, because back then there was not really. We might have had the first year where it was more grime acts. There were a couple of grime acts on there, but it was
The first one was Jay-Z, wasn't it? The first
That's
one.
way down the list, but I'm talking like
So
this. We're talking 04, 05. So when the label are telling me, oh, we're gonna get you in Glastonbury, I'm like, okay, whatever, like whatever. It wasn't, to me, it was like it was just another show, and actually it was just another show that was far, and they weren't paying me like more than I was getting. So I was just like, all right, let's do this little hippie thing, and we went and did it. I saw like Mike Skier in the car park. I think Lethal B was on as well. And like, again, at the time, I wasn't really thinking it was anything major. I'm just like, it's whatever, we're just doing it. And even before that, I was sitting with Michael Evis and Sarah, whatever, like the owners like, nah, you can't get in a room with them. But back then, I was there chilling with them.
I want to touch quickly just because you said about doing voiceovers and like narrating, is that right?
We have done that, yeah.
So I've just I knew about this, but I've started looking into it recently about having your songs. So a friend of mine, Luke, big up Luma, he had his song monetized on Netflix. And I was like, bruv, how did you do that? It's like, all you got to do is upload it to this place, and if they like it, they choose it. And I was like, it's not that easy, but it is that easy. So if you don't know, you don't know, innit? So there's people out here that just want to be a singer, a rapper, or a musician, and they only think that that's all they can do. But there's so much more you can do with your music, Jen, innit?
100%, man. This, like I said to you before, like, I'm not a good business person. I just do one thing and people just pick those things off it, right? And like, I never knew that, like, syncing, that's it. That's amazing.
That's
because again,
good,
the only time I've ever made real money from music has been through sync. So it's like you thinking that your music is worth one thing, and it is in this environment, but you go to another environment, it's worth something totally different.
Yes.
So I tell like I do youth work all the time, and I tell kids like, you can work in McDonald's, yeah, and you're cleaning tables, you're doing the fries, you're doing whatever you're doing, and you're getting paid a certain amount. But you could also do that exact same thing in Nobu, Hakkasan, or whatever, and even if the pay is similar, you're in a different world, right? Where what you're doing is valued in a very different way.
Cars is a good example of that.
There we go again. Yes, who do you want to work for? Do you want to work for Nissan? Do you want to work for Rolls Royce? Right? So it's figuring out, like, the skill's the same, but the price point's very different. So figure out where is your skill going to be valued? And like, there's a lot of music I'll do for sync libraries, yeah? And that might be music I don't really like, but the money's good. But that pays for me to do the stuff I want to do. So I want to do my little loop, no beat, no drum rap that no one cares about, because I love that. I can afford to do that now because I did all the dancey stuff and
It's
all the poppy stuff.
It's the same. It's the exact. So many parallels that I'm kind of seeing here. And before they start, let me just address something before they start. He ain't ever talked about himself. No, I link what the guests are saying to my own experiences, and that's how you make things flow, right? We're going to say it once on this season. We're never going to address it again, all right?
No, but they are right. You do talk about yourself a lot.
But that's what people do.
But that's your ADHD.
No, it's nothing to do with ADHD. It's drawing parallels between a similar story to make a story continue.
That's what. So if I Google ADHD, which I have done, because
I've been diagnosed with it, so I'll see your Google and raise it with a diagnosis.
No, but there's so much you do
Yeah.
that I've had to check somewhere else why you are like this.
Oh.
So
He's so 2D. It's unbelievable.
and I've seen and I've got evidence, receipts that say it's part of it. So what you do, you use your experience.
It's called an empathy response.
Empathy response. There you go. See?
Yeah,
So you have
breaking news.
Yeah. I'll be doing research too, bro. You got to know your people you're with, innit?
The parallel I see with that is I used to play at an indie pub.
Yeah.
8 till 10:30, pure indie.
Yeah.
You know, proper delving as well.
But Indians.
Right? No, indie music, you idiot. But it used to pay well.
Yeah.
I don't really like indie, but you learn to like it. And I guess with you, you probably learn to like certain things and it grows on you. Yeah. But you do those ones because you know that putting yourself in that space, someone's going to see you. You want to come play my hip hop club? Yeah. Yes, I would love to come play your hip hop club, bruv. But until you put yourself in and do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, like you say, the things that we sometimes like, that we want to do, they don't make us the money that we need. So sometimes we've got to get it from some, you know, the fact I'm able to sit here today, this is for you, the fact we're able to sit here today is because, you know, somewhere along the line I've probably gone and played Come On Eileen 15 times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's a banger, man, bro.
It is a banger, mate. Very suspect lyrics by today's standard. But
after deep lyrics, I really
I'd argue, mate, that Come On Eileen will shut down. I reckon Come On Eileen will shut down more parties than
Might leave it. You've got about 14 things that I've dropped down. You can pick them all up later. I was just watching like better shit for like the change I'm going to grab later.
You can have that. Yeah, I would say Come On. I reckon I can prove. I'll pull receipts that Come On Eileen will smash more parties than Badder Dan. I swear down.
I swear down. Yeah, absolutely right. Maybe we should do a remix of Come On Eileen.
I would.
Read the lyrics, but it's bad.
So we went from Brixton to Luton.
Yeah.
Luton, you started delving in music a bit more. You started meeting legends like Fire Life Cypher.
Yep.
When and how did you reach to Watford? And then you fly in the flag now for Watford. Man. You hold Watford on your back.
100%. So when my daughter was, before my daughter was born, my parents had already moved to South Oxley, which is kind of like Watford anyway, when I was 18, I want to say. So they were already there, but I wasn't with them. I was in Northwest. And when my missus got pregnant, I kind of had to make a choice of where I was going to be based. She was in Watford, so she didn't want to move to Brixton. That was, at the time, that was kind of my only other option. So yeah, was in Watford. So when Dep on Road was made,
that was your first ever album, yeah?
Yeah, the cover of Dep on Road, that's all shot in Watford, literally around the corner from where I used to live. And so being in Watford just forever. As an adult, that's where I did my growing up, all in Watford.
Yeah.
So come like, I don't know, lockdown times, I had kind of like an epiphany, like, rah, like I've been in Watford for like 18 years. Never really repped it. But everyone knows me from
That's
like,
insane.
but everyone knows me from Watford. Like if I walk down Market Street,
that was my next question, bro. My next question was, do people actually recognise you as a musician, rapper,
not even
Genesis Elijah?
Watford, isn't he? I'm like, no, he's from Brixton by way of Luton, actually. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, you better watch him on our podcast soon.
like, people know me from being, like, if Watford's a small place, isn't it? So, like, if you've been around Watford, you just know certain faces. You know what people do and whatever. And I'm known in that way. Like, yeah, I'm the guy with the dreads and the tattoos. And every now and then people be like, oh, they'll figure out how to do music as well. But it's only been since that time where I've really said, nah, I'm repping Watford. And when I did the album A Prophet in his hometown, that was the game changer. Because that was when everyone was like, oh, like, nah, you're really repping for Watford.
You went full on Watford colours and everything.
Yeah, like no one else has really done that before. Like no one else in the rap world has been like, yeah, like Watford, this is what we're doing. And that just changed. That changed a lot for me, man. It changed a lot, and it kind of like, you got to have, I always feel like, as a rapper, you have to have a home base. Yeah. And I feel like if you think of your top 5 rappers, one of the first things you're gonna talk about is where they're from.
Where they're from.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
So Snoop, you know, Compton.
Long Beach.
Right, cool, yeah. 50 Cent,
Queens, Southside Jamaica.
Nas, Mobb Deep,
Queensbridge Housing Product, Queensbridge Housing Products.
Biggie.
Bedford Stuyvesant,
Right.
Fulton Avenue.
So like,
Are you from Brooklyn?
Bedford Stuyvesant, Fulton Ave, yeah. Bed-Stuy's in Brixton neighbourhood in Brooklyn.
He's
So
from a place
like-
called Bedford, yeah?
Yeah, Bedford Stuyvesant, yeah. Named after a Dutch settler, Pete Stuyvesant.
so Jay,
Good segue.
all that stuff. So like, so to me, it's like, okay, cool. What you say?
He said, good segue. Like, it's a thing.
So yeah, so I was just like, yeah, let me just put where I'm from on the map, man, and let me just switch.
Why not Brixton then?
Because I'm never in Brixton anymore. Like I'm from Brixton, but I don't.
Even though, see, normal, like the proud Brixton, rough, ghetto, gang.
used to be, though. I
Gang,
used to
yeah,
be.
all of that. Yeah, see, you used to be, innit?
Yeah, but it's not.
People would more prefer to be known from Brixton than Watford, am I right?
Yeah, probably. But like to me, I'm like, it's so weird as well, yeah, because when I was from, again, I moved from Brixton, yeah, when I was 11 years old. But I was always back in Brixton because I played basketball for Brixton.
Fam.
My mates were in Brixton. I'm around here all the time. I was there last week, yeah. I'm always in Brixton, right? But if people that really know me, they know I'm not from there. I just visit. I'm just there and I know a few people. But when I walk around certain places, this is what does it for me as well, yeah? Same with Luton as well now. So when I walk around Brixton, even if I bump into people, it's not people from ends that I knew from before,
Okay.
right? It's people that have either moved there or like, it's, you know what I mean? You know what Brixton's like. Same with Luton. When I walk around Luton, on the rare times I do, I walk around, I don't know anyone. Like I walk through there and I'm like, because if you're not, but in Watford it's different. If I walk through Watford, like people know like this is my spot. I'm gonna walk into the butchers, I'm gonna go get my plant in, I'm gonna go went into the shop the other day to get my drink and the man's like, yo, hold this. I mean, I go to the barbers.
Big up Nadeem's.
Yeah, big up Mojo.
Messed my beard up today. You did.
Shake
Not
up the
Nadeem.
lunch.
So we touched on rappers from Brixton, i.e. Sneakbo and that. Would you consider them as mainstream? Would you consider them as mainstream
I think
musicians?
the line between mainstream and underground has become very blurred now anyway. But
the point I was trying to make was, yeah, so people like Sneakbo, Skinny Man was at one point. No?
Nah, not mainstream.
No?
no.
Underground.
Sneakbo definitely, surely.
Nah, I wouldn't say Sneakbo's ever mainstream.
I feel like the way that I see, if we're talking about UK artists that are doing urban music that have hit the mainstream, and we're not going to talk about Stormzy, obviously, Central C, obviously, but
Dave.
like under that, yeah. Then we do Dave, we do
Fredo. Funky Friday. #1 record. I think.
but Fredo like as an artist, like
Yeah, one record maybe. Yeah, as an artist, no. But I think. But then again,
I mean, like I mean more like Gigs, Kano, Gets, Dizzy.
Is that when Tiny Temper came out?
Yeah, Tiny. Yeah,
And he took it to him and
Everybody-
Labyrinth took it to some next thing. And
Everyone got weird around that time.
everybody was like, rah. The point that I was trying to touch.
I'm interested to hear your opinion on that because we had a conversation about Drake not long ago, and
Just before that,
I don't think Drake's a pop star. I think Drake's a rapper, a sometimes singer who's managed to.
he's a
figure.
pop star, bro.
I disagree entirely.
I think Drake's a pop star.
I think
Thank you.
I think he's popular and he's become. I don't think his music is pop music though.
He's definitely a pop star.
He does have, yeah. I wouldn't say he's making bubblegum poppy music.
I'd say he's drifted towards that, but he wasn't created as a pop star.
No, he wasn't, but he's become one.
You can become one. But then by that definition, so is Kendrick Lamar then.
See, I don't think Kendrick Lamar is
So
as
more records than anyone else.
poppy-starring-
So more records than anyone else last year. Pop star. The point again, nuance.
I think Kendrick is also a pop star. I think the fact that he's doing arenas. I think once you start doing arenas,
you become a pop star, right?
feel like
But my point was, you don't start out as. Whereas if we had an infinite pot of money today, and we decided we looked at what the trends were, we could create a band, we could create a group. I don't think you could create a rapper.
nah. But that's why I also don't like. I don't like the industry plant thing because I feel like the way the industry works, yeah, you can put money behind an act. Like all industry, everyone who is part of the industry is an industry plant because everyone's had money put behind
Of
them.
course,
behind
they
you,
are.
yeah.
And it's getting worse. But now, you look at recently the Brit Award winners, yeah, like all of them went to privately educated schools.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's where it's going to be.
yeah, it's basically it's only nepo babies that are now getting in.
People don't even know that Stormzy and Adele went to Brit School together.
That's
you
all
know
good,
that?
but like what? But to me, that's not everyone went Brit School. I don't really know.
I never went Brit School.
Nah, but like in the London scene,
Everyone went
is
Brit
for
School.
like everyone on the.
What
everyone
is
on-
Brit School? Because I thought it was something to do with the Brit Awards.
Nah, it's just like a.
It's like going to a performing
Performance
arts
art school.
It's
Nothing
like,
to do with the Brit Awards, then, no?
it's like going to
Oh,
performing arts
I
college.
always thought it was
it
something
just
to do with
happens
Brit
to be a
Awards.
famous performing arts
Yeah,
college.
I know
If-
bare man them that.
Yeah, they've been to Brit School. It's not like nothing.
my cousin
Like,
went, like,
there's
I
a
thought it was something
there's
to
a
do with-
difference between that and like what we're saying is there are the people that are like Charlie XCX is a great example, right?
Who's that?
Bro, you really got if you're going to do a popular podcast. Why have our cameras gone off?
The TV screen went off.
If you're going to do a popular podcast, you really need to get up on popular culture. Yeah.
No, who did you say?
Charlie XCX, yeah. So she went to like a she went to like a £36,000 a term school, right? Her parents worked in the industry, so when she decides she wants to be an artist, the doors are opening for her. Whereas today, your path today is very, very difficult to replicate. What you've done over the last 20 years, starting from today, would be very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, to replicate in the next 20 years.
So going back to my original question when I said about mainstream, the reason why I brought this up was because to me, I think you are a underground artist. Am I right in saying so?
I am the creature from beneath the mainstream.
Hey, I love that.
Creature
the
from
creature from beneath the mainstream.
But can I also, without blowing anyone's trumpet, say you've got just as much success or have made just as much noise as what some of these so-called successful mainstream artists have done. If not, even had more longevity,
Yeah, definitely
than
longevity.
some of these so-called mainstream artists.
Like, yeah, there's a argument to be said for that. That is, yeah, you can make that case. But again, I look at things like, I look at the artists I started around and where they are now.
Where they are now,
and
yeah.
where they're going to be, like where I'm going to be in
Yes.
5 years, where they're going to be. And there's a lot of artists that started behind me, went way ahead of me, and then disappeared. And if we all came back together now and we keyed in our bank details, we wouldn't be that far off each other.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of that. But again, I feel like, to me, that's not where the value is. The value is like, do people still listen to the music that you made? That's the longevity part. So the fact that every
Timeless
single
music.
day, like every day, someone's going to message me about Depp on Road.
Yeah.
Like maybe not every day, but at least once a week, someone's going to hit me up and go, oh yeah, that album. And I told them like that, it's not even on streaming platforms. Like you can't even hear that. I took it off streaming platforms probably about 10 years ago.
But you could, it is on the internet somewhere.
Yeah,
That's how
I think it's
heard
on
it.
YouTube and it's on my Bandcamp. But other than that, it's not like
No, I found it.
easily.
I found it on like some weird blog page. Yeah, like I was riding to work a couple of years ago. And I just quickly wanted to find it, and I googled it, and some blog page come up, and I was like, bang, play, and there it was.
The reason why I ask these questions is because we do similar kind of work where we work with the younger generation and influence or try to help them through the therapy of music.
Yeah.
I try to teach these kids where you don't have to be a pop star or you don't have to be famous to have longevity in music.
100%.
And
You
in
can-
fact, I think
you
it can go against you. Yeah,
Yeah, it can go.
You got to figure out. So to me, my thing is this again. People like look at it like, oh, I need to get 1 million streams.
Yeah, or 1 million
And I need
views.
to get right, cool. And I want to make this amount of money, yeah? Like I want to be a millionaire. It's like, okay, that's cool, yeah? But is there a world that you could make the music you love and make, let's have a modest, let's say, can you make 50 grand a year from doing the music you love without being famous? Like, is that doable? And if that is doable, what does it look like? What has to be done for you to get there? Because again, you might not need to sell. That you look at the numbers and you're like, oh, this person did
100,000.
100,000
Yeah.
albums. You might not need to do 100,000. Can you do 5,000? If you do sell 5,000, how much are you going to make from that 5,000 albums? Who's going to buy that? What else are they going to buy? Are they going to come to your shows? What else are you going to do around that? So it's like, it doesn't always have to be massive. It can be very small, but the engagement is going to be big.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, for me, that's the important bit of the music. It's not, if you listen to the music I make now, a lot of it is stories, right? The way I think about music is like, I want to tell a story in the time I've got, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a drum and bass jump up tune. It doesn't matter if it's a garage tune or rap tune, whatever it is, yeah? I want to tell a story because I want to connect with an emotion. And that's what I'm always going for. And even now, the other day I did a drum and bass show, and I've turned up, and this girl's come up to me. She's like, "Oh, are you doing? I got this track. I think it's called No Games that I did with Prototypes." She's like, "Are you doing that track?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, I've literally come just to hear that track. She's like, "I broke up with my boyfriend a couple of days ago, and like that track just speaks to me, like da 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 da."
That's what I'm saying.
Right, and I'm like,
my hairs. That's what music to me
Yeah.
is about. Somebody else picking your experience, saying, "That's happened to me," or "I've been there," or "That's happening to me right now." It's about relatable.
It's all about music. It's all about it.
Yeah, it's about being able to relate.
Yeah, so to me, it's like, oh, cool. Because if I got that one person felt that way, then I know that she represents like a fraction of the globe, innit? So I know there's gonna be more people like her.
There's gonna be more people just like her
and get it. So it's like, cool, I'm on the right path. And to me, that's what's important. All the other stuff, it is what it is, man. Like, again, I've seen people come and seen people go.
I've seen people come and go. And this is what I always say, like we said, do what you love.
Yeah,
and if you get paid from it, it's a bonus.
Man. It's when I started rapping, when my brother came home that night and was like, "Oh, Skinny Man was there, Chester P was there, all those guys were there," in my head, the dream I wanted, and when I made Dep on Road, I just wanted them people to go, "Yeah, that's sick."
Bad. Yeah.
And like, I got that. Like, I'm doing my first shows and Ty walking in and just being like, "Yeah, I heard you were performing, I just want to come and see you." I'm like, damn, man. Like, and all the people that I respected, all of them were like, "Yeah, nah, you're cold."
Yeah.
And to me, that was job done. I reached my goal in about what? By 2006, my goal was done. Everything else was just a bonus. Because I was already, the thing I set out to do was, the very first thing, I wanted my cousins to think I was cold. Because they were the ones that got me into rap.
They're the ones that showed you,
My uncle, I wanted my uncle to hear my music and be like, "Yeah, that's cold." My uncle will message me now, be like, "Yeah, I heard that track you did, it's cold." Like, to me, that's job done. When I'm sitting in my room and I hear music through the wall and I'm like, that sounds cold, what is that? And I turn my music down or my TV down and I listen in my daughter's room and she's playing my music. I'm like, "Oh, that's me. Oh, sick." That's job done. Like, cool. If they like it, everything else that's whatever, man. We can have fun with the other stuff, but those were my initial goals, and it's like, yeah, man did that. So it's all...
you started rapping, but then you also touched on drum and bass, garage. When was the transition to become? Am I right in saying rapper to MC? Because that's what I chatting on the mic to me is MCing, spitting over garage and drum and bass is MCing. Rapping, when you're writing and you're putting words together in poetic format, but then doing it in a rap form, is two different things for me personally.
When I finished the Vision album, the Vision album was done. That was a grime project. And when I finished it, it's me and Shapes.
That's your recent one, yeah?
That was a 2021, yeah. So when that was finished, we like mixing, mastering. I say to Shapes is like done the co-production on that project.
He's the grime producer, yeah?
Yeah. He does everything.
Because one of my questions on here was...
Nah.
One of my questions on here was, who is Shapes?
Shapes is one of the best producers in the UK. Any genre, absolute genius when it comes to producing. But once we're finishing this project, I've said to Shapes, "Yo, this guy Brucey, he's cold, bruv. Like, who is this guy?" And Shapes is like, "Bro, I've been producing for him." That's
Brucey.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, this is the stuff I want to do, bruv. Like, this is the next phase of where I want to be, is doing the drum and bass stuff. So me and Shapes, so Shapes did my first drum and bass track. It was originally produced by Blizzard, and Shapes was like, "Yeah, no, it's cold, but let me do my thing on it." So then Shapes came in and like he did it. We sent it to a few labels. V Recordings were like, "Yeah, we like it," so we went with them.
Is that the one that signed you?
Yeah,
with Frost and
Brian G.
And Brian G.
Yeah. So that's how that started, and then from there, I just started like, just bumping. I'm just in the scene, innit? And then like...
So your first one was called Visions.
Yeah.
And that was what genre?
That was grime.
And your next one was called...
Nah, because I haven't... So...
There's a rap album in between there as well.
There's a bunch of rap albums.
Yeah.
I haven't dropped...
Because then one's called Blurred.
Blurred came before Vision.
Dep on Road was always kind of be with there. But that, None of You Can F With Me is
That's when you leave me.
I got to spot you for that one, bro. That is, and it was almost weird because you were in this, because obviously I was doing radio around the time. So you're in this like mad, almost electronic bag. And you remember you dropping the 52 weeks?
Yeah.
I proudly say I played every 53 songs in total.
I remember that.
I played every
song every week.
single one of those songs.
Nah, respect.
So I did a 66 week run. But
I remember you've been gassed about it. Don't forget, it's my phone that used to ring.
But there were gaps in
never believe what I'm going to do with Genesis
There
doing.
were gaps in the 66 weeks. But the 53 week run coincided with that. I did not miss a Thursday.
What made you do that?
I just wanted to see if I could do it, man. Like,
Was that through inspiration, through what Wiley gave you to do your Blurred Visions thing?
not really. Like Wiley, because by the time
He said something about everyone dropping an album, didn't he?
but that was like the beginning of the year. But someone reminded me because Wiley said everyone drop your album on the first.
On the first, yeah.
So I'm like scrambling to get my stuff ready, for the first. And I don't think I dropped the album. I think I dropped the single. But Wiley didn't. So Wiley told everyone.
Yeah, of course you're not going to do that.
Wiley told everyone to do that.
Big old Wiley, you know.
Typical Wiley.
He's
Big
funny.
old
I
Wiley.
think
We really want to
Grizzly-
I want to get him on.
Yeah.
I think we got a chance as well. We should get him on.
We're going to have to fly out to Cyprus.
Let's go Cyprus then.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll go Cyprus. Coming? You can roll with us as well, bro. Yeah, come as well, man.
But I think Grizz, because Grizz, he dropped his. A bunch of people dropped theirs. But so then it was like, again, we're coming off lockdown, and I just wanted to flex, man. Just like, let me just see what I can do. And I honestly, if I really wanted to, I could do that. I could have carried on doing that. And to be honest, I've probably done that since then, just haven't released it. I'm making music all the time. I only do two things. I work out and I rap. So like, that's it. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm not like, I'm trying to do anything else. To be honest, I'll give advice in certain things, of like what I think is like best practice of what to do. But I'm also very aware that they've got ideas that I don't know about. There's things that they have access to, that I don't have access to. So I'm always like telling them, I'm an old man, I'm gonna have ways of doing things, but there's gonna be ways that you're gonna wanna do things that are gonna be better than things that I can think of. The energy is never with us, the energy is with you lot. You lot are the ones who, right? So you lot are doing the thing. So I'm gonna tell you certain ways that I think might work, but there's so much in what you've got that I don't have access to. So just keep doing your thing. Like, and even with, like now when I do music, I'm never doing music to try and be like the new hot thing or whatever. I'm like, this ain't my lane. Like, you've done that. Like, I'm the old man in the club. I just come to just dance. I'm just doing my 1-2 step in the corner. You lot take the middle. Like, you go grab the girls, man. Go do your thing. I had my time in it. So like, you lot got to figure out what's the next step. How is it going to be? And just make sure that you keep the love, like the reason you do it, in the forefront. Because the problem we've got at the moment is we're in the music business and the marketing is more important than the music.
100.
Right?
100%.
So because of that,
People have got 1 minute 30 now.
so it's changed the music. That may not necessarily be a bad thing, because again, I heard a 1 minute 30 song the other day, which I loved. It was sick. And what they did, they dropped the 1 minute 30 song. The song went sick. They added another rapper to it. Then it got sick, big again. Then they added a bigger rapper to it. So it's like, again, those kind of things to me is like, cool, do it your way, do what works. But at the forefront, remember, the art is the most important thing, because that's the bit that's going to last.
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do and we need to keep our foot on the gas. I'm moving in my own momentum, but when I see someone moving faster than me, I need to grab them. Jay-Z did it. All the biggest acts do that, right? So that's that's cool. So that's fine. But I think for me, I don't know. I think Central C, the way I see his music, is for the kids, and I think he's sick. But I personally, it's just not for me. It's like I've heard some of his songs and be like, yeah, that's cold, but it doesn't. The lifestyle that he speaks about doesn't speak to the lifestyle that I live.
Kids love it. That's why it gets the kids on the dance floor singing along.
And that's kind of sense. Well, I've been in clubs, I've played in clubs. If I hear Doja one more time, I'm probably going to like stick knitting needles in my ears, right? But if I put Doja on in a club and the dance floor's packed and the whole place, it's a very mixed demographic as well. Because when you go to these places now, it isn't all the man them in the those venues don't really exist no more.
Yeah.
And when you see a whole sea of people from every walk of life, how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
But to me, I'm always like, I don't care who's doing what. I don't care about the music in that way. As long as you lot love it,
That's it.
Yeah, that's
then
it.
that's cool. Because then what that means is it carries on.
Yeah.
And that's all I need.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't. We're all gonna, as artists, one day we all disappear out of it. We don't listen to some of the music that
It's
we
what we
listen
leave
to.
behind, isn't it?
Right, but there's gonna be new people that come up,
Yeah.
and I just want them to have that. I want them to have the how I felt when I first heard Murder. Like the first time I heard that, going, wait, what did he just say? Like, and traveling. I want them to travel, like go to these different venues and see it and fall in love with an artist and go, nah, this is, I'm gonna follow this guy around because I follow this girl because I love the music she's making, love the music he's making. That's what we need, because that's, to me, that's where me as an artist, that's where my legacy becomes important. It's like, what did you contribute to where this game was going, like to the direction that we're moving into?
I want to touch on a couple of things just quickly before we wrap up, because I know Jen's busy and we got to go. Happy birthday, Grandad 101.
Yeah, he smashed that,
Big,
man.
because you talk about his dad, and it made me remember about you guys celebrating your granddad's.
101,
but
man.
my grand reached 103.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. So there's big things there.
That's
Second
crazy.
thing is, we spoke about Central C, we spoke about industry plants, we spoke about this, we spoke about that. Does his colour of his skin help him?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Because you're in like the UK, man. So it comes down to like demographics, man. We want
Same way as Eminem. Because don't forget, people like the Beastie Boys and that, they were kicking down all of that. But that's why people like Eminem had his alter ego like Slim Shady. And talking about alter egos, we got another alter ego called Pastor Dutchie.
I don't know about Pastor Dutchie, man.
We don't know about him.
I won't talk about him, man.
He's worked with legends, as in like
Spanner in the works. Breaking news.
working with legends. I see on your album, you've got people like Rico Dan, you got Man from Foreign Beggars.
Yeah. Big up Pav.
You know some like people that we would dream to have features with. Like, what's that like, just having these people at the end of your phone, bruv, and saying,
Again, man.
you can pick up the phone to these men and say, "Yo, bruv, I'm sending you the beat. I need a feature." Manga, who I fucking rate that guy, yeah?
Cold.
I rate this guy. He should be like up there with your Wileys and Kanos. That guy is unbelievable. Cold as well.
I went college with his
genre.
cousin. Like, yeah, like Manga's, he's that guy.
He is.
Manga's that guy.
And I loved his little thing that he does with the multi-genre thing where he drops a thing and they got spit different.
the Red
genres.
Bull thing. Yeah, Manga's that guy, man. It's having, again, like Fallacy was like, when I first started rapping, Fallacy was one of the guys I looked at like that. I want to be like that. And to be able to have Fallacy on my phone whenever I need him, like this, you know what I mean? Or call me up, yeah, I like what you're doing. Da-da-da. I think that's what it is. The same thing. It's like, it's validation. It's like, okay, cool. You were on the right path the whole time. And it's like, yeah, man, stay on that path.
So I want to touch on a few things before we wrap up. Yeah, please. Hey? Thank you. But just, Knee High, big up Knee High. We spoke about him last time as well. Obviously, we met you through Knee High.
Yeah.
First time at the Interbeat studio. So I just want to shout him out, Knee High.
It's Richard West now. It's Rich. He don't do Knee High no more. It's
Richard West.
Rich West.
Rich
yeah.
West.
I think he's got a restaurant. Like now, he's killing it. He's
I
smashing
spoke
it,
to him, man, last year. I spoke to him last
Where's
year.
like Devon Cornwall way?
Yeah.
I spoke to him,
Yeah.
yeah.
I went up.
Down that way.
Yeah, he's done he's close. He's
Yeah, we'll
close
go
by.
and check for him. Go and check for him, get some meals.
Yeah.
I want to touch on keeping fit, bruv.
Trying, man.
You know what I mean?
Trying.
I'm just now starting that journey where hopefully I'm gonna aspire. I've told my brain I've got to do it. Just got to get the body to do it.
Start by intermittent
I
fasting.
can't stop eating, bruv.
Kind of the opposite to intermittent.
I just had a full English before I got here. And he even said to me, he goes, "You and food, man." And I explained to him, but anyway, that's another story.
I've lost a stone in 14 days.
I found it. I found the stone you lost, bro.
Working with Goldie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got something coming out.
Working with Goldie, but also working with somebody that's close to me. Well, Goldie's massive, so big up, but exclusive,
I
which
know what you're going to say.
you don't even know what I'm going to say.
Jason Bands.
He's got a track with Jason Bands, bruv.
A track-
Big
we
up
got-
my
we
boy
got a-
Jason Bands.
We got a bunch of tracks.
Yeah, well, he showed me the second one, but the very first one he played me, bruv, we were thumping it all the way to wherever we were going. I can't remember where we were going to a gig. But
Big
yeah,
up
he
Jason
showed me
Bands,
you guys.
man. We might do a project together.
You guys got some
we got
undercover-
a lot of stuff.
So you know there's a feature happening isn't there, as well.
Come on,
I'm gonna
man.
jump on.
Yeah,
I'm
come
gonna
on,
jump
man.
the track. And another thing I wanted to ask you is about putting in the work, bruv, because I see your videos, and obviously people like us who have not got editing skills, well, he has, but people like me, I see you do everything yourself.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Everything.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people why and how much and what it takes dedication to do what you do? Because you literally do everything, bruv.
You need to be self-sufficient, man. When lockdown
You can't
happened,
rely on no one, can you, Jen?
Nah, man. When lockdown happened and everyone was like, "Oh, there's no studios, you can't get to anybody." That was a cool time because you got to see like who would really put in the work and who could do it for themselves. And like I learned to do videos myself by just watching YouTube videos, man.
That's what you learned,
Anything you want to learn now, you can learn online. And now with Chat GPT, man, you got no excuse. I just saw an AI video someone did the other day. So cold, no cameras involved. They literally just put in a picture themselves, and put the words in,
thing did it
and it
itself.
did the whole thing. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Last thing I want to touch on,
use your resources.
something that we could all appreciate. Being a father, a dad who does music, who is in the public eye and possibly gets bare love, sometimes gets some hate. How do you deal with it? What do the kids think of it? Because I know my kids listen to my music. My daughter and my son, like you said, they think I'm a superstar, bro. Yeah. We get in the car, I get pissed off. Dad, put your song on. And I'm like, no, I'm not listening to it again. Dad, put your song on, put your song on. How do you deal with it, bruv? Being a father, being a musician, and getting the love and the hate.
To be honest, my kids have always been supporters of my music. They probably like my music more than I like my own music. The amount that they play it, and then like they'll let me know that their friends like my music and stuff, and they'll want me to take pictures of them and that kind of stuff. And it's
Are
just
your
like,
elder ones a little bit embarrassed?
Nah, I've got 2 kids and they both love. They play my stuff, man. My youngest one, like again, she's in college now. She plays with her friends and like.
My 15-year-old tells me, Dad, no one listens. So we just done a garage tune.
Yeah.
No one listens to garage no more, Dad. No one listens to garage tune. Spanner in the Works podcast, episode 2, season 2, first guest of season 2. Big up Genesis Elijah, round of applause. Brr, brr, brr. We ain't got your computers not working.
So peace out, like, subscribe, mash the button.